to a new file. Scenario here is, say that you need to create a new PowerPoint, a new slideshow for a hymn that's not already in the directory. We have a lot of them in here already, but say there's one that someone chooses that's not in the directory yet. So the easiest way to do that is to find the words online in SDA hymnal and to copy and paste those into a new document. So the first thing we want to do is create a new file here, and I'm going to call this, say we're going to do the Lord is Coming, the hymn we're going to do. The Lord is Coming, and that is hymn number 100. Easy to remember. We want to choose the correct formatting here. The monitors at church use a 1024 by 768 resolution, so this would show up the best. And I'm just going to use one of the existing templates that I have. So I'll choose OK. So now I have this file here, The Lord is Coming, and I want to be able to copy and paste the words into this particular document that we're editing. So I'm going to switch over to my web browser, and I'm going to look up SDA hymnal, and I'm going to choose number 100. So if I just do a search SDA hymnal 100, I can pull up, I got the title wrong, but that's okay, I can change that later. This is actually Great Is Thy Faithfulness, I guess. So if we choose this one from SDA hymnal, I'll click on that, and that will bring up the words that we can then just copy and paste into our document. So we have Great Is Thy Faithfulness, which is 100. Should have known that one. So this is 3 verses and a refrain. So what I'm going to do is highlight all those words, Control-C to copy. Then I'm going to go back over to my ProPresenter, and I have this document. I can actually change the name here. Actually, I'll do that afterwards. Let's see. Let's call that Great Is Thy Faithfulness. Oh, that's already taken. So this will be, I'll just do number 2 here. So this is the document that we're working on. The easiest way to copy and paste the words in is if we do a right click and choose the reflow document option. That's a quick way of copying and pasting the words in. So I'll go ahead and paste the words in. And they do come in very small, so I'll show you how to rectify that. But once we're done here copying and pasting those, I'm going to go into my editor. I'm going to highlight those words, which you can see there, and I'm going to change them to white just so it's a little easier to see them. And then I can come over here and change these to a font that's a little easier to work with. Put it up to about 60. And we're going to change the formatting of this in a minute. Okay, so now I have the font size, something that I can read. And let me come in here and go back into my reflow editor again. And now what I'm going to do is actually put in slide breaks. So I'll come down here and insert a slide break in between each of these verses. So I have 1, refrain, 2, and then number 3. And at the very top, I'm going to add a title slide. So Great Is Thy Faithfulness. And this is going to be hymn 100. And then I'll put in another slide break there. So now we have a title slide, verse 1, refrain, verse 2, and verse 3. Next thing I want to do is actually label my slides, and this makes it easy to actually add a group label to it, so it's easier for me to rearrange the songs as I need to. So I'm going to add a title for number 1, and you'll notice that it adds that group label for everything after that until I add a new one. So I'll come in and do a new group. So this is actually going to be verse 1. This one is going to be group refrain or a chorus. We'll call that chorus. And then we have a verse 2. And then a verse 3. Okay. So now we have the title, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to exit out of my reflow. You see everything looks a little better, but I still have some verses that I need to, some slides that I need to change the wording on. You can see that it's a little messed up here. I don't like the way that that actually flows. So what I'm going to do is come in here and edit this. And why is this doing this? This is probably good that this happened. What I'm going to do is come in and change the background so I can see it to something that is kind of a little more neutral. So if I use a gray background on all the slides, that should make it easier to modify the text. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's doing that, but anyways, we'll do this. Why is that doing that? I'm not even sure why that's doing that now. Anyways, let's try changing the no shadow, and let's change this to a different text. I'm going to choose like an Arial. And no text reveal, nothing there, no background, no fill color, and let's apply this to all. All right. And then what I'm going to do is let's change the text color to black. All right, that's going to work. So now let's apply that to all. Not sure why that was actually turning white there. And what I'll do is I kind of like the words to be broken up by refrain. So when you're actually singing it, it just makes it easier if everything is on its own line. So I'll set this up here. I'm going to do apply to all, and then I can come through and add some of these in here, some of these line breaks. You see it just kind of cleans the slide up a little. If there's too many words, then we can break those up into 2 slides too, but you get the idea here. So we'll do that. Let's add one there. And let's add one there. This is getting a little long. I would probably put these on 2 different verses. Maybe I'll show you how to do that too. This one. This one. All right, so I have those broken up. So that's a little better, but I still think there's too many words on one slide. So how do I actually change that? It's actually pretty easy. If I come in here and go back into my reflow document, same place as before, what I'm going to do is choose where I want the break. So I'll choose it there. This one's a little strange. I'm going to use a Shift Enter, so you can see there's kind of a, I'm not sure why it's doing a break there. I'll add a slide break here. I'll add a slide break to 2, and then let's add a slide break to 3. So that way we have basically 4 lines on every slide, and that's going to work a little better. And then what I can do is, since there's a little extra space on these slides, let's make this text a little bigger so it's easier to read. And let's actually make that bold, and I'll apply that to all the slides. There. All right. So I have all the words in here. I have it all laid out. Next thing I'm going to do is change my organization. So I'm going to use this arrangement tool. And what I want to do is do verse 1 chorus, and then 2 chorus. You can see that right now it goes 1 chorus, then 2 and 3. So I'll come up here and create a new arrangement. And I'm going to call this all verses. And then, since I've labeled all these, I can now just drag them to where I want them. So I'm going to do title verse, chorus, verse 2 chorus, verse 3, and then we want to add another chorus here, so I'll just drag that down to the end. And you'll see now that my slide shows verse 2 chorus and then verse 3 chorus. So everything is set up, and I'm going to just click on that to turn it off. So everything is kind of ready to go except for my background. What if I want to actually add a background to this? This is where just any type of creativity comes into play here, and you can choose any type of background that you want. Let me see if I can find one in here that would work. I think I have like a summer type theme we could use this time of year. Let's see what I can find. Yeah, this one will work. All right, so I have a title background, and then I have a background for the actual words themselves. So maybe I want the title to look like something like that, or actually I'll drag and drop one of these up there. That might look a little better. And then for the words, I don't want those to have any of that circle, so I'll just drag one of these up. So now when I click on this, I'm going to actually show the background. And then when I get to the first verse, I'll turn off this tray here. It actually keeps that background, because remember, the backgrounds and the words are on two separate layers. So we'll keep those together. So I'm all done here. And once that is ready to go, all I would have to do is then drag that and drop it into my playlist. And now that song is actually ready to go for me. So that's how you copy and paste and create a new hymn, a new hymn slide that then would go right into your library and be usable anytime you need it. Hope that helps. Have a good day.